France. A name that conjures images of candlelit cafes, grand chateaux, timeless countryside, and the sparkling lights of Paris. But France is far more than a postcard. It's a land of depth and detail, where every stone street, vineyard, mountain peak, and seaside village has a story to tell. To travel through France is to wander through centuries of art, war, beauty, revolution, and resilience. At its heart lies Paris, the capital, a city celebrated in poetry, film, and memory. The Eiffel Tower pierces the skyline, not as just a monument, but as a symbol of elegance and engineering brilliance. Below it, the Seine River winds gently, splitting the city into its left and right banks, where cobblestone lanes lead you from the bohemian corners of Montmartre to the regal facades of the Louvre. But Paris is not a museum. It breathes. It pulses with cafes buzzing at all hours, with street musicians echoing beneath metro tunnels, with life that never stands still. The smell of fresh baguettes mingles with the distant sound of traffic and conversation, and there's a certain magic in every glance. Venture outside the capital, and France begins to reveal its many faces. To the north, the region of Normandy stands quiet and dignified. Wind-swept cliffs overlook beaches that once bore the weight of history on D-Day. Cemeteries there are filled with rows of white crosses, reminders of the sacrifices that shaped modern Europe. Not far from the coast, Mont Saint-Michel rises from the sea like a vision from a storybook, its Gothic spires reaching skyward, surrounded by tides that shift like whispers through the ages. To the east, Alsace borders Germany and carries both French elegance and Germanic charm. Half-timbered houses in towns like Colmar and Strasbourg are strung with flowers in spring and lights in winter. Wine flows freely, especially the crisp whites this region is known for, and the influence of two great cultures gives every dish, every accent, a layered richness. In the northeast, the Champagne region rolls with vineyards that produce one of France's most iconic exports, sparkling wine born of chalky soil and centuries of care. A bottle of champagne opened anywhere in the world is a celebration. But here, it's also a legacy. In the cellars beneath Reims, miles of ancient tunnels hold millions of bottles aging in the dark, watched over by houses that have perfected their craft through wars, peace, and time. The center of France, often overlooked, hides some of its most genuine beauty. The Loire Valley is a dream of castles and gardens. Hundreds of chateaux, Chenonceau, Chambord, Amboise, rise from the misty riverbanks, like visions from the past. It's easy to imagine royalty riding through the trees, or philosophers debating under the vaulted ceilings of stone halls. And yet, between the grandeur, villages hum with everyday life. Markets fill with fresh cheese and herbs. Bakers knead dough by dawn, and bicycles lean against centuries-old walls, like nothing's changed, and maybe it hasn't. To the west, Brittany stands rugged and proud. Here, the coastline twists and churns with the Atlantic, while inland forests echo with Celtic myths. The language, the food, the traditions, they're different here, tied deeply to an identity both French and fiercely Breton. And just south, the region of the Dordogne offers prehistoric caves, medieval towns, and rivers, perfect for slow canoe journeys through gorges and under ancient bridges. France is a land defined not only by nature and architecture, but also by its cuisine, an experience not merely of taste, but of culture and ritual. In Lyon, the culinary capital, tradition reigns. The city is dotted with bouchons, humble eateries serving dishes like coq au vin and quenelle in rich sauces. Here, food is conversation, time, and love. From flaky croissants in a village boulangerie to 10-course meals in Michelin-starred restaurants, eating in France is never rushed, never routine. Down south, the sun paints the landscape in warmer tones. Provence bursts with lavender fields, olive trees, and sun-drenched markets. The air is scented with rosemary and thyme, and in small towns like Gordes or Roussillon, shutters swing open to reveal lazy afternoons and voices carried on the breeze. Life in Provence feels slower, softer. Artists from Cézanne to Van Gogh came here chasing the light, and even today it casts a golden hue that seems to pause time. The French Riviera, or Côte d'Azur, is the meeting place of luxury and natural beauty. Nice, Cannes, Monaco. These names shine with glamour, but behind the glitz are turquoise waters, rocky beaches, and hilltop villages like Èze and Saint-Paul-de-Vence that offer quiet moments and sweeping Mediterranean views. Along these roads, you pass yachts and fields of mimosa, sunbathers and shepherds, and the rhythm of life dances between simplicity and sophistication. Travel inland and upward, and the Alps dominate the horizon. Mont Blanc, Western Europe's tallest peak, looms high above the resort towns of Chamonix and Annecy. In winter, these slopes echo with the sound of skis slicing through snow. In summer, the trails fill with hikers, climbers, and paragliders, seeking the freedom that only the mountains offer. Yet even here, nestled between icy peaks, you'll find hearty meals, warm chalets, and the ever-present pride of place. Farther south still, the Pyrenees separate France from Spain with dramatic ridgelines and pastoral valleys. This is a land of shepherds, ancient pilgrimage routes, and a quieter, wilder France. In Basque Country, the traditions shift again. New dialects, new dishes, and a spirit all its own. And then there's Corsica, the island of beauty, floating in the Mediterranean. Born of rugged mountains and crystalline coves, Corsica is at once French and fiercely independent. Its capital, Ajaccio, was Napoleon's birthplace, but much of the island remains wild, perfect for hiking, sailing, and losing yourself in a blend of cultures shaped by centuries of conquest and resistance. But perhaps what defines France most is not a place, but a feeling. A dedication to quality of life, a celebration of the senses, a belief that beauty is worth preserving, whether it's in the brushstrokes of Monet, the curves of Gothic cathedrals, or the quiet elegance of a handwritten menu. France is layered with paradoxes. It reveres the past but pushes boundaries in fashion, film, and design. It's proud, sometimes stubborn, but endlessly introspective. It can be formal, but wildly passionate, orderly, yet always in quiet revolt. The spirit of revolution lives in its streets, not just in monuments, but in the way people talk, question, and fight for what they believe. And though its global image is often one of romance and style, France is also deeply human, weathered and real. In the countryside, life can be slow and hard. In the cities, it can be fast and chaotic. There are strikes, debates, imperfections, but that's part of its heartbeat. France doesn't hide its contradictions. It wears them like a well-tailored coat, flawed maybe, but always with intention. To journey through France is to see more than just landmarks. It's to witness the art of living, the pride in a perfect pastry, the joy in a sidewalk cafe, the stillness of a sunlit vineyard, the echo of church bells over an old stone village, the laughter of children chasing pigeons on cobbled plazas. It's a country that asks you to slow down, to pay attention, to feel. And whether you find yourself standing under the glittering lights of Paris or watching the sun dip into the Atlantic from a quiet Breton harbor, you'll understand something simple, something true. In France, beauty isn't rare. It's a way of life.